Hi, I'm Bonnie Lynn Linke of Stamping with Bonnie Lynn. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and welcome to my studio. Today I'm going to show you how I made this card here. It is with the Kit You Later stamp set, which is this one right here. It's a clean stamp set. And it is from the January to June mini catalog. The catalog retires at the end of the month, and this stamp set is retiring. As of today, it is still available though. So, and then I also use the Paradise Palms, which works great with monkeys. It's a stamp set right here. This one has been carried over to the annual catalog, as have the dies right there. And in case you're wondering where I get my magnetic boards from, I get them from Stamp and Storage. And they also have storage containers, folders to put them in. So there we go. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do for this card is set it right there so I can look at it as I make this one and bring in my items here. I've already embossed my Old Olive panel with the Fern 3D embossing folder. I just love this one. It works with so many of the sets and it's great. And then this one is for my stamping. I used the Hues of Happiness Designer Series paper for this background, and this one is it too. And this is going to be my background on this card. As you can see, the roses on the other side. Gorgeous paper. And I've also already made the inside of my card. I just took a piece of Old Olive cardstock, put a piece of basic white on it, stamped it with the I Love Hanging Around With You. I stamped it with just one of the monkeys. Now, the monkeys are all one stamp, and they have this vine, which is right there. And I'm going to show you how you can just do one monkey, and we'll do that on the envelope. And then I have a piece of basic white, thick cardstock for the card base, and this is 4 1/4 by 11. Yes, and it's scored at 5 1/2. Okay, let's get started. We'll start with the stamping. I'll set my monkeys over there. And I'm going to show you first how I did the palm branches. I used Old Olive stamp ink. And as you see, I put a label right on the inside there. That's just so when I have more than one stamp set open, I can easily see what color it is. But I didn't do that here on the Parakeet Party. Shame on me. And I used a dauber on that. So what I did is I just tapped my stamp into the Old Olive, and then on my dauber I get some Parakeet Party, and I do have a piece of scratch paper. Just before I put it in again, I want to make sure I get the Old Olive off, and I just do this just to give it more of a two-tone, a more natural color. Another way you could do it is you could put the Parakeet Party on your stamp first, and that's the way I did this one. And then I didn't stamp it, but while the Parakeet Party was still on the stamp wet, I went and took my Old Olive marker and just colored on it like so in some different spots. But I like this method more with putting Old Olive on the whole thing and then daubing some of the Parakeet Party on it. If you don't have Parakeet Party, if you have lemon lime, that will work. Or just the Old Olive would work good. And if you have the pen or a dauber, you can just make areas of it just a little bit darker. And here we go. Perfect. Okay, so that is done. set those aside for right now. Now I need to do my tree trunks. And let me do this. As you can see, my cleaning pad is well used, well stained. I do clean it occasionally with Dawn dishwashing soap. I rinse it out with water all the time. And I have thrown it in the washer once, and it came out just fine. It didn't hurt it, but it doesn't get it all out, but it did get some out. I did it with rags. And also, I cut mine in half, so if I want to just pick part of it up, I can. And this is, I used one of my old stamp cases, but you can buy stamp cases, and it's like 4 or 5 of them you get. And that's Stampin' Up! Does sell those. So, okay, we need to do one of the tree trunks. I'm doing the curved one right here. And clean this. And I'll take that off, and I need to get the other tree trunk. I want one curved, and I want one straight. And I like putting my stamps down and just putting the block on top. You can also use your stamp apparatus with this if you want to. Leave enough room so I can put both dies on at the same time. So I left enough room between everything that I can put all 4 of my die thinlets on their framelits and cut them all at once. I do tape them in place. I have not purchased the magnetic board that they have now, which was new in this catalog. I need to do that, and I naturally will. For those of you who knows me, I like playing. Okay, now I have already cut these out. Just a few minutes ago, I made a set right there. And so there we go. So I have those, and we'll set that aside. Now I want to take the grass that is on here, and I'm going to show you how I did that. What I did, the first time I used my Copics, and I used YG03, YG17, and YG67. I've been doing Copic alcohol markers for a long time, so I do have the full set of those, and I do not have all of my stamping blends. But I did find some that pretty well match, so we're going to use those. And I'm going to start with the dark Granny Apple Green. And what I do is just make some, I don't know what you call it, check marks, or not check marks, but just strokes, quick, fast strokes to clean this, to mark it up. And I'm doing it, and I'm using all 3 colors, and I'm doing it just to give me some variation in the colors. And then I'm going to take, and that was a light and dark Granny Apple Green. Now I'm just going to take my Parakeet Party, and this is the light one, and fill in the rest of it. And I'm going, make sure I go over all the other colors to help it blend. And now I could stop at this if I wanted to, but I don't want to. And I don't work on top of paper when I'm using my alcohol marker, because what happens if you do, the ink goes down into that piece of paper that you're working on, and your alcohol markers will not blend as well. So you can see I got ink on there, and it's really no big deal to me, because I'll just take an alcohol wipe and clean my desktop off, just like so. So there we go. Now I am going to stamp though, because in the Paradise Palms stamp set, and that is where we had the dies was part of the stamp set, there is this grass piece here. What I'm gonna do is, oh, I need both my Old Olive and my Parakeet Party again. I do not need the dauber, so we'll put that out of the way, and I'll start with the Parakeet Party. And I'm just gonna stamp that a couple times right there. And then I'm gonna add some Old Olive on there too. And between the Copics and stamping with the stamp, it just gives it a lot of texture. So I really like that. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna stamp off some of this Old Olive and put some more Parakeet Party on here. Now I'm gonna go along and just add a little bit to here. And now I'm gonna add some Old Olive. I could have stamped off on that if I wanted to. There we go. And I think I'll do one more up high there at an angle. Maybe a little bit of the, there. Isn't that pretty? Actually, you could just do this. And you know, I think I need a tiny bit more. One more, and do it more off the paper. There we go. Okay. Now I didn't even really need to do that other piece, this piece here, but the reason why I did is because I want to hide my tree trunks, the bottoms of them. So that's the reason why we're using that one. So, and what we're going to do now is we're going to put the first tree trunk on, and I want to do my curved one on the left-hand side. And I do glue these on. You can use glue dots if you want to. You can also, if you have some type of other method of glue, you can use that. Let's see. I am really messy with glue. I don't think there's anybody who is messier than me. So I think I'm going to put this one down right about there. Okay, and where's my monkeys? Right here. Okay, and I want this to go there. Now I want this other end to go behind the tree, so I am going to find out. I think maybe I want it raised here. Now on the other card, I had the sun I put on there, but on this one, okay, now see this. This is why I'm not, okay. We're gonna glue the monkeys on first, and I'm gonna glue them at an angle. And all I'm doing is putting a little bit of glue on the vine. So this side here is going to go like so, and this side's going to be a little bit higher. I'm not going to press that all the way. Oh, shoot. I had too much glue on there. Okay. Okay, yeah, that can be pressed all the way down. Okay. But the reason why I haven't done anything with the monkeys is because I want the hand to go over top the tree, but I want the one end of the vine underneath. And as you see, I got too much glue there, so I'm just going to spread it around. Okay. You have to be more coordinated than I am. There we go. There we go. Just like that. Okay. I am happy with that, I hope, because it's too late now otherwise. Where's my palm trees? Okay. See, and I'm going to use a dimensional for that. And I'm going to use a dimensional for that one, just checking them out though. Okay, that works. But as I said, on this one I put a sun, but I didn't want a sun on this one because the sky is already so colorful, so it wouldn't look good in my opinion. So, okay, I need some dimensionals now. And what I want to do, I want to take the paper off of two mini ones. And I'm going to take this first one and I'm going to put it behind the stomach of the monkey, right there. And that way he's up off of the tree and it looks like they're really moving around. And this one gets one under his head. And that just lifts them up off the paper a little bit. Okay, my hands are all sticky from the glue. That's why I said I'm not very good with glue. Okay, now I'm going to use a couple of dimensionals on each tree. That there. Where's my other tree? Go on and get some dimensionals on you. Take this end here. Okay, I have not made any cards of the quail or the kitty cat yet that is eyeing that goldfish for supper, it looks like. Because I just got this one the other day, the stamp set, and the first thing I wanted to do is make the monkeys because I love monkeys. I took my granddaughter to the zoo one time in Seattle, and it was a small zoo, and as we're walking up, you hear the monkeys screaming these really obnoxious noises. And she was scared, and I told her, I said, oh, don't be scared, honey. I said, they're just saying, hello, Emily, we're excited you're here. She was only about 2 years old, almost 2.5, so that made her happy, and she was excited about that. Okay, where's my grass that I did? Okay, well, while I look for that, I will go on and start putting this together and maybe it will pop up. Okay, you fold your card base in half on the score line, and then you just take your bone folder and burnish it. Now, before I put it together, I want to go ahead and use this stamp set, the limited edition stamp set, and I'm going to use the stamp Made with Love. Or no, a one-of-a-kind creation. And then it says Stampin' Up! At the very bottom. So that means if I have a desire to sell these stamps, these cards, they're already marked with the Stampin' Up!, which is part of the angel policy. I'm going to take, and on the back, down at the bottom, I'm just going to stamp that, just like so. And this is called, and that stamp is from the limited edition stamp set. It's really nice. I like it. I use it a whole lot more than I thought I would. Ooh, I just felt the grass fall down my leg, so it had slid off into my lap. Okay, we'll go ahead and put this on first. And just center that there. Now the dimension I gave you for this old olive piece is 4 1/16, I believe, by 5 5/16. And the reason why, I just wanted it just a tiny bit larger than what the quarter mark was. So if you go one hashtag above the quarter mark is what I did on my paper trimmer. I didn't want as much white around the edges, but if I had gone up to the 1/8, it would have been too much, I think. Because sometimes when you use these embossing folders, it kind of grows the paper a little bit. And I know I could have rechecked my measurements and maybe trimmed it, but I find it easier just to do it what I wanted it. I'm going to go ahead and put some glue on here instead of tape. I'll go ahead and glue this on. See how straight I can get it right off. At least with glue, it does give you some leadway. And like I said, I am the messiest person with glue. It's kind of embarrassing. Okay, now I need a couple glue dots. About 3 of them, because I want to put my grass on. And see, I'm just going to use it to cover up the tree trunks. It doesn't have to be straight. And actually, I could have probably put the tree trunks down a little bit lower, but I didn't. And that's okay. We could do a second one of these grass things if you don't like the way it looks, but I think it's going to look just fine. My other one lined up at the edge, and this one isn't going to, if I want it to do what I want it to do. So. And it doesn't have to be straight. It just needs to be on there, just like so. And I'll probably put something under there later on to maybe a dab of glue so those edges stay down a little bit better. Okay, and then this will go on the inside. I already have the tape on the bottom, so we'll go ahead and get it in. And I said to go ahead and cut both sides of the old olive the same. And you know, by doing it a tiny bit bigger, you have a little bit more of a frame of it too, which is really nice. I like the frame on the inside. It just makes it all stick out a little bit more. Now, if you want to, you can go ahead and color the monkey. I did color the branch. I put some brown on it, and I also colored the leaves on it. Right there, you can see that. But I didn't want to color the monkey. Okay, so all we have left to do is the envelope. And I told you I would show you how I did that. So I'm going to bring back this piece of scratch paper. I'm going to set the envelope there. Here is my stamp, and as I said, it's all one. And what I want to do is I want just this monkey on it. So I'm going to use my dauber, and I'm going to use Early Espresso. And I got to make sure I get the right one. I want this one on this side. Okay, I already got ink over there. I'll just wipe that off of my pad. Because I really don't want to make a mark on the envelope. Okay, another thing I did. Oops, sorry about that. My Post-it notes stuck to some other paper and pulled everything out. Okay, I used the Post-it notes to cover the one I didn't want to stamp. Okay, that looks good. Then we just are going to breathe on it to make sure it's moist. And then go ahead and put it down like so. And that's how I got just part of my monkey. And then you can take your Parakeet Party alcohol stamp and blend and just color in the leaves like so. And if you do any more coloring on it, I would put a piece of scratch paper inside the envelope because the alcohol ink will soak through. All right, I hope you like this video today. Here's the card and the envelope, and then the inside. And this is the other card. You can see the difference with the backgrounds. I think the Hue of Happiness paper is great for either one of them. The paper is gorgeous. And the inside, the other side of it with the flowers, the whole package, it is wonderful. I really like the paper. It's very versatile. You can use it, as I just showed you, as a background, the reverse side of it, on other cards, or else you can use it with your flowers. Either way, it's just beautiful. The Fern 3D embossing folder is very easy to use. I did not wet my paper at all before embossing it. Some people will say to do it. I don't find it necessary to, because I don't have a problem with my paper tearing at all. So I would appreciate it if you would like the video and if you would subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can also find me on the web at stampingwithbonnielynn.com, and that's BONNIELYNN. And I'm on Pinterest, Instagram, and Facebook. So if you follow me, I would appreciate it. And if you do not have a demonstrator, I would love it if you would consider using me as your demonstrator. Thank you very much for joining me today, and I wish you a good afternoon, good day, and happy stamping. Bye.